What's going on, guys? It's Krypt here, and I just want to make a video on the Krypt out of all things. Yeah, might be a little unexpected, but I have done a video on the Krypt in the past. I kind of just want to talk about the Krypt in this video, so if you don't really like rants, I don't think this is going to be your forte. So, I had Krypt hearts automatically transferred into Krypt keys. A lot of the keys come from compensation, and also the fact that with the update they gave you a few keys to start off with. So I think I might have had just like 1 or 2 keys added on from doing about 4,000 hearts worth of runs. And what I've done recently is I have done 15 Elder runs because of the 10 keys and the dailies. This is what I've received. 15 Elder Krypt runs. Here are all the hearts I have. 19,000. And I have some sped up stuff that I might be playing as well, or I could overlay it right now to show how long does an Elder run take. If you collect every single chest and every single reward with a maxed diamond team, you're looking to spend about an hour per run. So doing 15 runs is gonna run you about, well, I would say at least 16 to 17 hours of time. Yes. I didn't track just how much time it took me, but considering I have the 1 hour proof, you know, start to finish, kind of gave up towards the end. And this is kind of what you look to expect or see from this many runs. Every single day you get 2 Krypt runs. And if you continuously choose Elder, which is supposed to give you on average about 1,400 to 2,600 Krypt hearts. I see this one person on Reddit who have posted Fusion 5 of the epics and Fusion X of the rare equipments. Now, the way that they've been able to achieve that is probably through actually doing it every single day. I haven't been doing the Krypt every single day. I just wanted to show what 15 runs looks like. I don't think I've seen a lot of people compare how many, runs 15 will roughly get you. What can you expect equipment-wise, and what can you expect Krypt heart-wise? And this is what I wanted to show off. On this account, I have practically no Krypt equipment. I only have the enigmatic lantern and the necromancer's forbidden book. I definitely will be buying the epic at least once because I need a copy for the brutality for Quan, but I don't think I'll be maxing out the rare. I plan to just rely on the game mode itself and just keep playing to try to max out my rares. But when they don't give us keys for the next update for free, because I had 10 keys being used as a majority of my runs here, right? When they don't do that, it's going to take a longer time to get those fusions of the rares up for whatever new Krypt equipments come out in the next update. And what I will probably be testing at some point is I'm going to be testing normal, hard, and Elder. I'm going to test on 3 different accounts, okay? And I will be doing the runs consistently every single day, maybe cut them off, or just do periods where I update you guys on the status/progress of each run, because I think it's important to test each game mode. Maybe normal and hard give more, and I haven't tested that yet, and I definitely will be. Now that I've done a lot of Elder and seen the results of Elder, I want to try normal and hard and see if maybe they drop more. Maybe Elder gives more hearts and has a lesser drop rate for rares and epics, but they try to make up with the hearts, right? But it's so expensive that you can only buy 1 copy, so it doesn't really change much. Some people have been saying ignore Elder and just stick to normal and hard, and that could be the reason why. We'll see. $100 for 75 keys, and that's only for the 25 bonus. You really just should be using the dailies. I think the dailies are are just going to be the best way to go. And every update, when they come out with new gear in the Krypt, you might as well just grind it. Now, what about the gear itself? Is it worth it? It's a very cool concept to have just 4 gears in an update, but there's only a few issues with it. Number 1, brutality and friendship gears are severely limited by their ability to perform friendship and brutality. They automatically get nerfed. What do I mean by that? Well, they can't be too strong as it stands because they serve as a second purpose. They're already wanting to be seeked so that you can do brutality or friendship. They can't make the gear too strong because then it makes 2 points for getting the equipment rather than just 1. These gears will suffer from that pretty badly. Quan Chi's brutality combo under and his equipment are good, but there's nothing truly special here. Just gains power upon tag-in for 15 seconds at Fusion X. Increases special attack unblockable chance. You have a chance to apply snare. That's just... You can find rare gears to do some of this stuff already as it stands. This update is lacking those gears with the extra abilities that are good as a standalone gear without needing the friendship or needing the brutality to be added onto it to make it good or worth it. I think that's the only thing this update's really missing. I would hope that in the future updates, they bring more gears to the Krypt. I think 2 is just not enough. But I think the grinding process to get the gear, it's not too bad. And if we start having repeats, like I said, for Tower of Horror, Lin Kuei, Black Dragon, and more brutalities get added here, because like I said, every single gear in the entire game, besides Faction Wars gear, can be purchased in the Krypt store. It is available for a price tag, and the price tag is the same for every single gear. For example, every epic gear, like let's say Reaper's End, which is an epic Tower of Horror piece, I'm going to go show it off right now. Reaper's End, this Tower of Horror piece, would be 6,000 per copy. Just like the Necromancer's, what's the full name? The Necromancer's Death Favor, sorry, I haven't memorized the names for these new gears. It's almost like they don't exist besides the Krypt. It feels weird for it to not be in a tower. I still have to get used to that. I'm just not used to it yet, especially since the tower has its own play style and the Krypt has a completely different one. Now, how about the Krypt itself? Because I've talked about the rewards and the grinding process, but we haven't talked about the Krypt itself. Listen, I think this game mode is good as a new way to grind, and for people who, like, it's a grind to reward basis now. If you don't put in the work to grind and you don't have time to spare, they don't reward you. That's the thing about this update. You don't want to put in the time, or you don't have the time, they just won't give you anything. It's a bit controversial, and a few YouTubers have pointed that out. They are wanting a more efficient way to play this game mode that's not as time consuming. I, for one, like the idea that a few people have brought up in the Discord server, which is to potentially create a path where you can skip the mini battles. Now, what I mean by mini battles, I'll put it on screen. The ones that are not the bosses, right? The boss is the end of the floor, which takes you to the next floor. All the mini battles, if you could, like, kind of run it similar to a quest, so you don't have to play the battle. Maybe you skip it with souls, or add some way to potentially make the grinding process easier. A lot of people have souls lying around. Not everyone, all right? Not everyone, but maxed accounts have souls lying around, and it feels like it shouldn't be a 1 to 2 hour grinding process for 2 Krypt Elder runs for everybody. It should be faster for more advanced players, but it's gonna be around the same time for an advanced player and a beginner who just has a really good gold team. I don't think the times are that different. I really don't. As long as you're both playing optimally, as long as you both are playing optimally, there's no advantage. There's no tower boost like there is in a Sorcerer's Tower. For example, if you use Sorcerer's Tower gear in Sorcerers, you will get a boost. But in the Krypt gear doesn't have an advantage. There's no damage boost here. It creates slow runs. I do think that the Krypt gear should potentially increase your damage. That'll make the Krypt much easier, but shouldn't you reward players who are getting their fusions high through playing the Krypt every single day? So you start out with 1 to 2 hour times, but you work your way up to a faster time. Instead of having to take an hour, you take 30 minutes instead because the equipment was giving you a boost because you grinded that gear up, which gave you a better damage boost. Am I not mistaken? Is this not a good idea? Especially since if I go to the shop and let's say, is there any Krypt Tower gear? No. Okay, there's no Krypt Tower gear in the shop, but I'm gonna pull it up right now. Okay, it's not available at the moment, but I'm just showing it on screen. That's what it looks like. Let's say the Quan Brutality pack or some pack that gives you Krypt gear. Let's say I open it and I max it all out. I max out all the Krypt gear. What kind of advantage does that give me? And what do I have for a reason to play the Krypt now? Because the Krypt only gives me characters, which if you're buying the gear to max fusion, you probably have most characters pretty highly fused up or potentially even maxed, like this. This isn't going to be everyone's screen. Some people, everything is available for purchase because they don't have any of this stuff maxed out. And for those players, the Krypt is very important. But it should be faster for those who have already taken the time of years of grinding to max out a lot of this stuff, or they've maxed out the gears or got them up super highly fused and they have no characters to buy, and they don't necessarily want to max out these gears. They want to spend it on better stuff. But it gets transferred into Krypt keys. Now here's the problem with getting transferred into Krypt keys. Let's say I don't like this gear. I want nothing to do with it. Now it gets transferred into Krypt keys and I have to replay every single battle, hours and hours and hours on end. Maybe make the runs faster for people who use Krypt keys instead of Krypt daily attempts. That way, your Krypt keys don't feel like such a hassle to use. These are all a bunch of just shots in the dark, all right? I'm just suggesting things to the developers or bringing up points that could make the Krypt a better game mode. But overall, I do think the Krypt is a must-have, and I treat the Krypt similar to how I treat Shao Kahn Tower, actually. Now, Shao Kahn Tower gives really crappy rewards. There's practically no reason to grind this unless you need talents. Why do I need talents? I thought I had 101. Okay, maybe I don't have 101 talents. Let's go see this. Let's save my preset. Okay, saving it and then reset really quick. I don't. I have 47 talents. Okay, my bad. I only have 47 talents, so I need to be grinding Shao Kahn Tower. But this game mode stops serving a purpose after you get your talents maxed out because it doesn't give you any extra rewards. The daily attempts can start to feel like a chore instead of anything worth completing. And I don't necessarily recommend Shao Kahn Tower for beginners after you get your talent tree maxed out, because there's better things to use your character's energy on, like Faction Wars battles to get a higher rank, tower battles, and definitely the Krypt, right? Because the Krypt is going to give you the chance to buy specific diamonds like Classic Rain. Yes, don't have to go and do the chance for the soul packs. You can just get characters like Classic Rain, or even the new golds like Edenian Blood Katana, and eventually in the next update, Edenian Blood Rain. Now that we've sat here this whole video ranting, I might as well actually buy the Necromancer's Death Favor, not Necromantian. What's happening to me? What is happening to me? All this ranting has driven me crazy. I want to make sure there's some stuff on the screen to go along with this. Now that we bought the Death Favor, we're going to be buying the Shang one. I was going to say I wanted to wait till the next reset to purchase the next gear, but I can't do that because it gets transferred into Krypt keys and I have to grind all this stuff all over again So I have to spend my hearts on something because it's such a pain to have to sit there and grind, 15 times again. I don't know why the shop would need to reset the hearts. I can't imagine or understand what the logic behind that is. Is it potentially because the developers don't want you to be able to, oh, wow. Yeah, once you purchase it, that's it. You cannot get any more of it. Really? Huh. Okay. Consumables are alright. I've never opened this pack. Mainly because I don't have to revive all that often. I just use, diamond teams. If you're using a gold team or variations of gold teams, you might have to purchase this pack at some point. It's not a terrible one. I think it's cool to have a little limited time offer. But it's going to go away after one attempt. Oh, wow. 191 small health stones. Look at all of the stones I've obtained for 15 battles. 15 battles can get you around 191 small health stones and 162 large ones, 40 small life stones, and 24 large life stones. It seems like the rarest drop is the invigorating stone, which is supposed to recover fatigued characters. Fatigued characters basically being like survivor mode when they're defeated, or when you win and you want to bring them back to life for a second time to do some more battles. The rest of my hearts are going to be turned into Krypt keys regardless, so I have nothing to spend my Krypt stuff on. I'm not spending on an Aftershock Tremor, okay? You guys see it and you're like, please buy, please buy. No, 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 no. I'd rather it go back to Krypt keys so I can buy the epic book. I guess I just can do a few runs until I get enough to purchase both of these in the shop, and then call it a field day. Call it a day. I haven't seemed to have dropped a single epic. The Krypt has reset about 3, maybe 4 times now, right? Something like that. Because it's about 5 days for every reset. So I think it might have been 3 or 4 days, potentially 5. So the person who has fusion level 5 of the epics, did you really drop it? I think you can. It just must be really low. Dropping epic gears. And then, or having to purchase it in the shop every single time. Like, their next reset's probably going to go back to Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung's epic and rare piece. But after that, it's possible that they might change the shop out for something else. And they might not have the Necromancer and the enigmatic gears lineup. And that's going to be a new experience. Because then most people have not been able to max out the Necromancer's death favor. They don't want people to save up. Maybe because they don't want them to be able to buy something on the spot after waiting. But I don't really see why, because you can only purchase one product anyways. So why would it be a problem? I won't know these answers, but those are my criticisms. Overall, I think this is a good game mode. It is easy, and some people had a problem with me saying it was an easy game mode because it has difficulty to it in the Elder Stage. I don't really understand that. The reason I called it easy, I meant it in a positive way. I didn't mean it was so easy that they should make it challenging. I meant that it was fairly easy, and it's sort of a good thing because then beginners have somewhere or some type of game mode that isn't so competitive like towers are. The newest towers are so competitive, and the modifiers just get more and more challenging to make it very difficult for beginners to complete it with normal teams. Action Movie Tower, I mean, I practically gave up on that tower. It was not fun. The modifiers and the difficulty made it not fun. But the Krypt, I think the most boring part of the Krypt is the fact that maybe it's a bit too easy. Maybe. And if they turn up the difficulty a little bit more, they should reward us more. Then there's a trade-off. Like I said, guys, I just think that the Krypt keys should equal a faster run, and for maxed players or people who max out the gear or get the gear pretty highly fused, there should be a reward for doing so. There should be an incentive to do so. They're going to run into an issue though. Every time that they update the game and add new gear into the Krypt, like they did here, the old gear will still give boost for the Krypt, and they can't fix that then. So maybe whatever the newest gear is gives the damage boost and the health boost. And whenever this gear is no longer in the shop or isn't the main focus of the update, maybe they have a new set of gears out, then those become the boosted gears. That could be a way around it. There's so many different ways to make the Krypt a little bit more exciting. I'm just really happy to see big change, and this update brought it in a great way. And I'm just giving a thumbs up to Warner Brothers, and I'm saying please continue to make things better and add new stuff. Even if we criticize the Krypt, no matter how much you can criticize the Krypt, it is a new take on this game, and it is something we can look forward to, and we can hope gets changed and altered in a positive way to impact the community even more than they already have. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. Let me just give a big shout out to my YouTube members. We have JDB, Braden, Friendly Guy with Asperger, Press GG, Darkside, Noxon, Bagor, Ez Halarson, Legend YT, Titan Beast, Lace, Jan, Tolga, Hamath, Stan Marsh, Giuliano Games, Tab, Random, Combat Max, Goku, Aiden, Katana, Plain Punch, Jeremy, Ghosty XL, Shocks YT, Jeff, Grimmer Mia, Fitz Magic, Massive Cool, Rosislav, and MK Fire. Thank you all for being YouTube members, and welcome to the new members. And yeah, peace out.